All right, ladies and gentlemen, we'll get started. Welcome to the first day of Scientific Research Methods. We will be meeting every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 8 a.m. to 8:50. I know that you may have noticed in the course catalog that it said some synchronous meetings will be required. That is accurate. Some means all of the meetings on Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Also, my office hours are Tuesday from 11 to 12. If you need to meet with me, you're going to need to send an email on that one, and we will figure out how that will happen. Also, attendance is non-negotiable. I will be taking attendance every day. I will also be marking down participation. There is an expectation that you will participate in an appropriate manner in this course. And in fact, I'm already noticing a little bit of a problem. It is a requirement in my course that we have all videos on. So Bernadette, I guess it is, we're going to need your video on. Also, I am having a little bit of a concern about where some of you all are choosing to take this course. I'm not sure how you could be productive while reclined. So really, it is not appropriate to be lying. I also would expect you to not be in pajamas, things like that. I expect you to bring the level of professionalism to this course that I am bringing to you. So let's go ahead and do roll call so that I can give you your points for being present. Okay, so do we have an Al Steiner?
Here.
Okay, thank you, Al. All right, do we have Nicola Bell?
Hey.
Hey, all right, that okay. Do we have Bernadette Johnson?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. All right. Thank you for joining us, Bernadette. Do I have a, oh man, okay. Exiomera. Do I have Exiomera Jones?
Hi, it's Ciamara.
It's what?
Ciamara.
Why is it spelled with an X? Okay. Ciamara. Ciamara. Okay.
Ciamara.
Okay, all right. Thank you. All right. Actually, can we just call you Mara? That would be much. We're going to go with Mara. Mara Jones. Mara Jones is here. All righty. And then also Jamila Martin. Do we have Jamila Martin? Jamila. Wow, that's an interesting choice to not be present on the first day of class. Okie dokie. Well, let's not be like Jamila. Let's make sure that we are always here promptly at 8 a.m. with our videos on. Okay, a couple things we need to go over since this is the first day of class. So this is Scientific Research Methods. It is a gatekeeper course for this major, meaning that if you do not pass with a C or better, you will not be able to continue. Another thing that's probably relevant, if you look to your left and right now in Zoom, at least one of those people will not pass the course. Based on my past data, at least about 50% of students do not pass with a C. Do not be that person. It is your responsibility to do what you need to do to pass this course. Other things that would be relevant, so tests and stuff. We're going to have one midterm, one final, and one term paper. The purpose of all of these assignments is for me to assess your fit with becoming a scientist. Certain people are scientist material, other people are not scientist material. Now, the first thing we need to be focusing on is this term paper because you do have an assignment that is due related to that next Monday. The topic of this is going to be the epistemological foundations of scientific reasoning. So what I want you to do next week is to write me a paper reflection on your kind of personal feelings about epistemological foundations. Any questions about any of this information?
Can we get a rubric for what you're expecting for that one? That assignment?
A rubric? Do you think this is like high school? Rubrics tell people exactly what I am looking for. It basically amounts to a checklist. All right, your job as a college student is to figure out how to look at a prompt and to respond effectively to it. So no, you will not be getting a rubric for that or anything else. Yes, Bernadette.
Is it okay if we work together on what's this? The papers? What'd you say it was? Epis something?
It's epistemological foundations of scientific reasoning. You should have a good kind of schema for that already because I posted the syllabus last night. So you should be aware of what I'm asking for. That being said, if you had read the syllabus, you would recognize that we do not work together. The point of this course is for me to assess your individual fitness to become a future scientist. How can I do that if you're working with somebody else? How do I know whether or not you are stealing someone else's ideas and being lazy? All right, so there will be no working together. This is assessing your individual fitness as a future scientist. Okay, do we have any other questions?
Is there like a certain number of references that you want for that paper, this assignment?
Well, Mara, if you had read your syllabus, you would know the answer to that question. So you're going to want to circle back to that. Okay, I think that is enough questions. I think we should probably move on to the lecture for the day. So, as I said, we're going to be talking about the epistemology of scientific evidence. All right, so we know that theorists of knowledge routinely examine truth-seeking practices in science and mathematics. And typically, we know that these issues of epistemology are coming more and more to the forefront with the advent of argumentation models of evidential reasoning and law. Argumentation systematically adopts what would be called, from the viewpoint of traditional epistemology, a skeptical point of view, holding that knowledge of the truth is hard to come by under conditions of uncertainty, inconsistency, and employment of defeasible arguments of the kind typically used, like argumentation from expert opinion and argument from witness testimony. I am noticing as I am speaking here, some of you are not taking notes. All right, I'm not sure how you're going to be able to get through this course successfully if you do not have the important college skills of note-taking. So I would recommend that you do that, all right? Okay, as I am sure you are aware, the systematic method begins with asking a question, then we move on to generating hypotheses, it continues with gathering evidence, yada, yada, yada. Clearly, this has been covered ad nauseum in your elementary courses on the topic. So because of that, you should be well poised to come up with a possible scientific question. Can I get from somebody a question that we could ask and then explore through the collection of evidence? Yes, Al, you have an idea.
So I'm curious if this is a good question because it sounds like it would be, but I'm curious if how gender might relate to marital satisfaction.
Oh, yes, that's a great question. So one thing that we know from the research is that men always show higher levels of satisfaction in marriage than women. That is something that is indisputed. And so in order for us to think about this, though, there might be additional factors that come into play, additional explanatory third variables that tell us why men are always happier than women. Can anybody think of any of those third variables?
With women in marriage, they might have the added pressure of pregnancy and the pressure to be pregnant very soon.
I don't know if there's any research on that, but sure, we'll go with that. So if we are trying to understand the added pressure that women feel there, I guess the way that we would study it, of course, is we would get a group of men, we would get a group of girls, and then we would ask them questions about the relative pressures that they are feeling. Yes? And then we would be able to understand this nature of dynamics between, the man and the woman in the relationship. Okay, the scholars who have dominated evidence scholarship in the first half of the 20th century, for example, John H. Wigmore, were the architects of the modern law of evidence. We provide an epistemological model of scientific evidence that is different from the... Oh, I'm seeing a message in the chat. Hey, Miss Masland. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I thought I clarified at the beginning. Perhaps I forgot to. My name is Dr. Lindsay Masland. We call folks in college doctor. It is completely disrespectful to use any name other than that. You don't have your book yet. Well, then you are unprepared for the course. I am wondering why you are typing this to me in the middle of this lecture. I'm not sure how you can be paying attention to the chat while simultaneously listening to my lecture. Also, this probably would be a good time to mention it is wholly unprofessional to use the kind of language you would chat to your buds, right, on your cellular phone. That is not what we are doing here. Again, I'm not sure how many times I have to say I'm trying to build scientists, and I can guarantee you that scientists do not say so, sirree. All right, let's get it together. Yes? Thank you. All right, back to the lecture. We provide an epistemological model of scientific evidence that is different from the traditional approach. Someone's phone? Someone's phone is ringing. Okay, that's another thing that I would have thought you would have known about that clearly you are not aware of. We need to have our phones not only on mute, but not in the room. In fact, there's scientific evidence that shows that folks cannot pay attention when there are literally any other devices anywhere. I hate the fact that we even have to use this device here. Clearly, face-to-face instruction is superior, but this is the only device you should be using. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I am noticing we're actually about 10 minutes over, so we should probably end this. We're going to pick up with this on Wednesday. Remember, you need to get to work on that reflection paper that I'm expecting by next Monday. Also, Al, could you stay after? I can tell, based on the quality of your inquiry, that you're going to make an excellent scientist. I think I might have a spot for you in my research lab. All right, everybody else, I will see you on Wednesday.